Good morning and welcome to Top Flight Series with RunThrough. We are here at Fulham this chilly Sunday morning, 17th of November. It is certainly very, very cold, but I hope you're having a good Sunday morning and joining us.
Absolutely. I'm Cameron and I'm joined with Stacey. We are back for this is race number 11 of the series. I can't believe how quickly it's gone, actually, to be fair. But yeah, almost over. This is just this one to go and then back to Ribble Valley for the final event of the year. And yeah, some pretty big lineup. I'd say probably the most competitive lineup we've had so far, actually, on paper. So whether everybody turns up or not, we'll soon find out. But we will be towing the line in just over 5 minutes. We'll get the start list to you in just a second. People are just checking in still, so once we hear back fully of who is here and who's maybe decided not to come today, we'll get that back to you soon, and we'll be with you in just a moment.
I'll just go through the current standings at the moment. On the men's side, we have leading the series as Omar Ahmed. He is in the number one position at the moment, and he is down to race today. So hopefully he's going to put in a fantastic performance and continue to lead the rankings there. In second place, we have Douglas Musson. Third, we have Samuel Gabriel Selassie. Fourth, Jason Bennett. And in fifth place, we have Jonathan Escalante Phillips, who is also down and registered to participate today. Down on the women's side, in first position, we have Kirsty Longley, who is leading the series so far. Down second, we have Cara Mackenzie Tate. Third, Millie McPinsey. And in fourth, we got Alexandra Snedden. I don't believe that any of the ladies just listed there are down as registered today.
Yeah, so we're just waiting to hear back from a few of the um, elite athletes who've turned up. We've got a checklist here. We're just hearing back from the race director. Yet to see Omar Ahmed as actually whether he's turning up or not today. He is down to run, and we did hear back that he was looking for a pretty fast time today. So I'm not sure if he's here. Um, he was looking for low 28 minutes to put it into perspective. And I mean, on a course like this, and we will get into that as the race gets going, but it is a very tight and windy course. So that is pretty rapid if he is going to go for that. But I'm not sure if he's here or not, whether there's been some kind of issues with travel. He's definitely shown intent that he was going to be here by saying that he was going to be going for a certain time. So hopefully he's okay and everything's okay. And, it's maybe just some kind of travel issues. But I can't see him on the start list yet. We can see a few of the elites starting to gather now. Just over 3 minutes to go. So um, we will get that back to you. We do have hearers. We've got Josh Grace is here. I mean, you can see him in the yellow. If Omar isn't here, I can imagine that Josh will be looking for that win or challenging at least for it because he is a class act. And we've also got George Grassley. Big up George from went to Durham University with George. Great athlete. He's living it up in the corporate lifestyle at the minute, so it'll be interesting to see how he's getting on. Um,
I'm not sure how much you can live it up with a great job
Right.
and at the same time.
Let's find out. I think that's John's gonna go, but
Yeah, we will soon see how that work-life balance is going.
um,
Could definitely resonate there.
I've done a pretty good job of it, so maybe he's doing all right.
Athletes just on the start line now, under 60 seconds to go till gun time. And just to recap, the race winner will receive £200. Any performances under 30 minutes will receive 250 in first position, 200 in second position, and for third, 175. Not bad for a Sunday morning.
Not bad indeed. And I'm not sure if we will see in the men's side, but I think on the women's side, there may be a pretty good chance that someone's going to get a big fat bonus today because we do have a couple of pretty good athletes entered. We had a few late entries into the race. Um, and I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but can you, do you want to pronounce that?
Transfora Musa, I believe.
Yeah. There we I didn't want to get it wrong, so yes, this is pretty a lot better than me that. But no, she has came over from Tanzania, great athlete, 25 years of age. 5,000 meter PB 17:09, which I think that we would expect it to run a lot quicker than that here today. That was 3 years ago. That's on the World Athletics website. I'm not sure if she's run again since then. Um, but I'll be interested to see how she gets on. You can just see the athletes are starting to line up now on the start line, all bunching up. The mass start will be behind them, so hopefully nobody goes down. It looks a bit of a familiar start, to be honest, a bit like Armand. I don't think that'll be good memories for Josh Grace. I still remember Josh going down one year. I was just behind him, so
Here we go.
I was just getting underway. Thought that was the start there. Isn't is that Omar on the right, or is that? So
Athletes are off. So it is a little bit of a twisty turny course that is incredibly flat. I think looking at the course details there, I think it's around about 6 meters of elevation. So it's very, very flat, but there are a few turns in here which might catch a few athletes out, especially if some of the athletes are sleeping and relaxing a little bit and somebody decides to kick. Now I can see, I believe that is
it's Omar Ahmed at the front. So he has turned up.
it's turned up.
We were a little bit worried at first, to be honest. We were thinking, oh, maybe he's had some travel issues. Could be that he was deciding he was going to play mental games with his competitors today, and he thought, I'll tell you what, I'll do a few more strides, a few more touches of the toes, and around the back of the course, and then I'll rock up at the last minute and get in the heads. Who knows? But yeah, he's straight to the front as predicted. He did say he was going to be going for a pretty quick time. He wants to go low 28 minutes, but in a course like this, I mean, you can already see the first bend already. It's pretty, it is a pretty tight course indeed. So maybe he fares well on courses like that. Maybe he's got plenty of experience. So I'm sure he knows he's in shape to be wanting to go for a potential personal best. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he progresses. But straight away, you can see he's thought, right, this is it. Game on. Watch us all in good condition. It looked like he was checking his watch quite a lot,
It did,
actually.
yeah. I wonder if he was just checking the settings and not if it was actually working. But the current pace at the moment, they've just gone up to 255. It was at 245. So he was checking his watch a little bit there. So I don't know if he's had some kind of technical issues there. But yeah, so Omar has asked for a relatively quick pace today, around about the 245 pace. Per K, but he has put his foot down and he seems to be really picking it up. Now, somebody I just want to pick out of this lead pack here of 6 athletes is George James. George James is I would want to say relatively new to the scene because he seems to have been competing for a number of years, right down to when he was a junior. Now, George has been traveling the world quite a lot in his previous role, working on super yachts with the rich and famous. Now, he's been back into the UK for, I believe it's just under a year. And one of the reasons is that he can focus a little bit more on his training and running. And he's really started to see the results of that. Now they're just about to pass Chelsea Football Club, some good footage there of the stadium. Going back to George, he did just compete in the Frankfurt Marathon in October there with a time of 2:11. Um, that is an incredible performance. His half marathon PB is 65 minutes dead. Now, he hasn't ever ran a 10K race. I'm going to be so interested today to see what he puts out there. I do, I'd like to think that he's going to get on the podium with a time like that of a 2:11, a half marathon of 65. I've got good hopes for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very interesting story. I mean, looking at his progression last year, 68 minutes for half marathon. Sorry, 66 minutes, 28 for the half marathon. This year, 2:11. It's quite a big jump. I mean, that's actually, a half marathon personal best through halfway almost compared to last year. Oh yeah, he did run 65 this year. Stacey's just pointed out to me, but compared to last year, he's essentially personal besting, splitting his half marathon PB to 2:11. So down from 2:14 at London. So he's made big progress.
Fantastic. And
And
the fact that I think in the past 10 years or so, he has been traveling the world. It's incredibly difficult for him to train. So now that he's able to get a bit more of a routine, he's starting to really focus on his running more, but based back in the UK and got a coach as well. He's starting to see the results of that already. So I have a good luck to him. Have high hopes for George.
yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see. Actually, to be honest, he's not even got a 5K personal best on his power of 10, just looking at it. And maybe his split, I'm not sure if we've got official splits for 5K, but it could be an unofficial PB for 5K by the looks of things. If when he goes through 5K. But yeah, I mean, with the 2:11 half marathon, sorry, 2:11 marathon personal best, you kind of expect him to be motoring along today and near at least near that front pack of the elite runners. So yeah, well,
I think he has done a couple of park runs, I believe. I think he's done it in around about 16 minutes dead. I do believe that he can go a lot faster than that with a half marathon of that time. So yeah, we'll keep a little eye out once they hit the 5K mark and see if we can get some coverage on George and see what time he goes through in there. Now they are currently they're just under going through the 2K mark, still on a sub 3 minute K pace. So they're still hitting the mark. They'll slow down a little bit from what the requested pace was a 2:45.
yeah, he was yeah, to 28, 20 for 10K was the requested pace
Oof.
for. Well, I don't think he's got a pacemaker, but that's what he was aiming for. But to be honest, don't I know that in previous races you may have watched some of these top flight races and you could see Omar just went ham from the start and he basically opened a gap up within the first 100 meters. This is quite an in-depth field compared to the other ones. You can see Jonathan Escalante Phillips there. It looks like he's in the Saw running speed suit today, so he's obviously fancying his chances potentially get those aerodynamics in for that last 100 meters if he's there. Um, but there is some pretty good runners indeed. And one for me that really stands out here is Dylan Evans from Shaftesbury Barnet. I can get that out of my mouth.
Yeah.
He is a very, very quick 5K runner, and he's got a 350 for 1500 PB. Don't really look into that too much because he is more of a 10K runner on the roads. To be honest, that's more of his specialty. But he came third in the nationals cross country championships in Mansfield recently. He was third on the first leg, should I say? And that, to be honest, that is pretty rapid because that was a very, very strong field. He also set a PB at Leeds Abbey Dash this year, um, in which was 29:04, and that for me says that he's in shape. He's already, you can see, he's just actually took the lead. This is a new one for us, not seeing Omar Ahmed in the lead. Maybe Omar's came here and realised how twisty and turny this course is, and we did say before the race we did expect it to be quite a tactical, potentially a tactical race. Um, I mean, it is still going quite fast. You can see already that they are motoring along.
It makes a stark contrast to the Jarrah race and how that unfolded. Omar basically took it out hard from the beginning and sat there at the front on his own. So it's really great to see that there's a pack of 6 athletes there, all sticking together, all rotating as well. Some taking the lead, some tucking behind. So we will see how long the 6 actually stay together and when the pace starts to pick up a little bit and when athletes start to drop off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're all still there though. That's the thing. I mean, you can see Jonathan Escalante Phillips is hanging on. He does race a lot. So
Yeah, so the Cambridge Harriers athlete, he did compete in the Cardiff Adidas Podium Home Nations race. He has a PB of 13:53. He is speedy. He has some top end speed. A 10K PB that he set in 2022, 20.
DJ Binman would have been all over that. Anyway, so yeah, like I say, the group's still there. It looks to me like Dylan Evans is still pushing the pace on. He's not hanging about here. He's willing to make it work. Omar Ahmed's already starting to rock a little bit, but he does tend to rock anyway. To be fair, even when he looks like he might not be comfortable, he usually is. Um, but don't be surprised. I'd say over the next couple of K, if a few people do start to drop off this pace because it's looking pretty hot. And I mean, the bike it says 220 to 220. It's fluctuating quite a lot, to be honest. I don't think that's it's quite accurate. It's not running in the 220s for the kilometers at this pace. But you know, we're going around corners, so it'll be hard to. It's quite a twisty, turny course, as you can see. So it's hard to keep up with the pace and see um, um, and understand what sort of sorry, keep track of the GPS. So.
There's something that I did pick up on Dylan Evans. He does run for Shaftesbury, Barnet, and Belgrave Harriers, but he is Australian, so it's nice to see a little bit of other nationalities entered into the race. I did a little bit of digging on Dylan, and I believe he used to compete at a pretty high standard in triathlon back in the day for Australia. He seemed to be a professional triathlete background. Hopefully, my research is correct on that. But definitely has a great endurance background there, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs today.
Yeah, very much indeed. Maybe that's why he's not afraid to hit the front because in triathlon, essentially, they're getting off the bike and it's never usually that tactical unless you may see at the front. I mean, Alex Cees tends to make it tactical sometimes because he's so quick at the end, but it looks like Omar Ahmed's had enough. He's decided he's going to hit the front and he's really going to go for it and try and push the pace on and press them a little bit and see who can hang on. It looks like Jonathan Escalante Phillips has begun to drop off a little bit. Whether or not he'll start picking people off or not, I don't know. But we did see this in the Battersea Park 5K. I've never seen Red so excited when he's commentating an event when Jonathan managed to hit the front and absolutely hammer it down the home straight to take the win. So maybe he'll hang on a little bit and keep them in sight and might be able to start picking people off. But to be honest, he almost picked the pace up, and there's no daylight really. Dylan Evans is still there, and he's still happy with that. I'm not sure if who is in Newham Essex Beagles. Do you have any idea,
Is
Stacey?
that the yellow vest?
Yes, I
Hmm.
don't. We don't have him. This mm,
Not sure who that athlete is,
maybe
to
that's
be honest.
Charlie. Is it Charlie Everest? We do have a Newham Essex Beagles wrote down, but it's 32:51 personal best. So it may be a last minute entry. So we do apologise if it isn't. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't seem to
30.
have much information about the newer athlete at all. We'll see if we can pull up some stuff in a second. But it definitely doesn't seem to be that he's stretching away too far. He is picking up the pace and having a little check behind his shoulder there. But he hasn't shaken them off just yet. He may do as he starts to get up to 5K in the second half.
Yeah, this is a new one from Omar. He's essentially sat in for the first half of the race, and I'm not sure whether his coach has had a word with him and said, "Look, I don't think this is a great idea. I think you should just go for the win," or whether or not the pace was just electric. We'll get a better idea in about probably about 2 minutes when we come to the halfway point because we're just over 4 kilometers at the minute, so 0.7, sorry, 750 meters. We should get a halfway split, and I'll be honest, I think this is looking like sub 29 pace at the moment, but like I said, we will get an accurate split probably pretty quickly to you. But already you can see, look, the young man from Newman Essex Beagles
Still sticking with him.
still sticking with him. I mean, this can't be a 32-51 man, can it? I mean, unless this is inaccurate information we've been given, but I don't think it is because Paz is usually pretty on it. But
No, well, we have checked a lot of the results and fact checked via different results spaces. Um, so yeah, we'll have a little look into that and see if we can pull up some more information on that athlete. I do want to switch over to the women's side though. Um, Looking at the start list, we had a couple of great entries with Kate Esley Morris. She has a PB of 33:38. She competes in everything from 800 to half marathon and in cross country. She actually competed in the Copenhagen half marathon this year with a 73:57. That's an incredible time. And definitely the
uh,
Copenhagen half marathon, it's one of those courses where it's a bucket list course. It's meant to be absolutely gorgeous to run around. We've got an athlete, Isabel Pickett. She is from Thames Hair Club, Australian as well. So again, nice to see some international athletes be entered into the top flight run through series. She has a PB which was done at the Trafford 10K of 34 minutes and 19 seconds. She also competed on the track at the night of the 10K PBs at Parliament Hill with a performance of 34:11. So some really great times there. Another athlete I want to point out on the women's side is Anna Domville. Her coach is Martin Rush, who is well, we all know Martin on the athletic scene. She competes for Team Bath. Her PB is 34:36. So we've got a couple of female athletes there, which are all around the same mark. So we're going to see a great race, hopefully a close one, with the women. She actually, going back to Anna Domville, she competed at the London Olympic Park run through 10K back in March, and also she competed in the Battersea Park Chase the Sun 5K event as well. She actually had at the beginning of her career, she specialized in more 200, 400, 800 meter distances and has slowly worked her way up. So she's got some really good top end speed, and now starting to get into more of that distance work um, and hopefully it'll pay off in that sprint finish, which we all know comes into massive benefits at the end.
yeah, just looking at Transfora, she's in no man's land at the minute, but what we've seen this before from Kirsty Longley, where she's just absolutely motoring along by herself and starting to pick people off left, right, and centre. I'll be honest, would think that at this point, halfway through the race, you kind of would expect an athlete of this caliber to have timed it well. And start moving through the field because quite often you see is, I mean, like, she's in the mass start as well. A lot of athletes go off too quickly, but you know, someone of her caliber, I kind of expect that she's going to start moving in towards and start picking people off as she goes along because she will have timed it pretty well, I would have thought. And it does look like she's starting to close the gap quite a lot already on on the guy in front of her. But just looking back to the men's race, Omar Ahmed has not shaken anybody off. There is still three guys there, and I have found it. I did a quick look around on the start list.
Oh, well done.
We've had a sneaky,
Let up.
we've had a sneaky entry there from Parsi. I'm gonna have a word with him after this. So I'm gonna have to apologize to Charlie Brisley. We don't like getting people misnaming people on the pod, so we didn't really want to start guessing. But I think it is Charlie Brisley. He is pretty rapid, which is kind of explains why he hung up. He was just hanging on there, and like sort of I say hanging on. He was pretty smooth, and 13:58 5K PB this year on the 5,000 meters on the track at a BMC at Watford's. He's run on the road this year. I mean, that was earlier in the year. That was 14:07 at Battersea Park, and 10K wise 29:01 at Leeds Abbey Gash. So you know, second place there. That was just behind James McMurray. I think it was a sprint finish at the end. So he was there till the end. I think he's going to be the same here. Dylan Evans again, still pushing the pace on. And we did for a brief second see George James hit the front. It did look as if he kind of came from away. You can see him. He's just in the black vest with the red shoes. Looking at his watch now, there's a bit of a gap there, but honestly, sometimes what you might notice here is that people go around the corners and they almost accelerate out of the corners. It looks to me like it's been happening quite a lot, and it's at small surges up through the corners. It's not very good for conserving energy, but George James seems to just be running even split. He kind of just seems to be every time there's a straight, he's reeling them in. And I'm just wondering if for the race he's got sort of seen the course and thought, I'm going to try and run as smooth as possible, conserve as much as possible, and by the end of the race, see how much I've got left, and maybe that might do enough for him when it comes to the sprint finish. Because I think this is going to be down to the wire, personally. Just looking at the way they're running now, Stacey. What do
Yeah,
you think?
we're over 6K in, and we've still got that pack of four there. And it's fantastic to see that there's some heavy competition for Omar, and that he hasn't got his usual easy way as he has done in the past few races there. But it's just great to see that there's a high level of caliber of athletes that have entered into this race in Fulham. And it is a particularly challenging course with the twists and turns. Like I said, it's really flat. You've got 6 meters of elevation, so it's gonna produce some really quick times. But when there are a lot of twists and turns, it does come down to tactics. If you and you can just see there that there's cars right on the side of the road just to uh, put in a little bit of a challenge. I did notice when it was on the straights, Omar tend to put his foot down and was trying to stretch them out on those straights, and then they've all grouped back down to get together again. Um, but it's great to see that there's a competitive race, a little bit more entertaining.
It's interesting. Do you know what? I just wanted to say a big shout out to the run through guys as well while we're at it because I didn't notice, and Stacey's actually made me think then. Um, and she's absolutely right. There is cars everywhere, but there was a delivery van in the middle of the course as they came round. So it just goes to show the importance of having the lead bike way ahead because they did have to notify them. They came flying around one of the corners and almost went straight into a big red van. So I want to say big shout out to the run through guys. They're doing a great job of keeping these athletes safe. You can just see Jamie there on the right hand side filming along. I'm sure we'll see some nice reels later from that man. But yeah, you can. What I was just thinking as well was I hear almost put another burst in here. I think he's going to really have to try and drop them here because he's just over 3K left. But will that happen? That's another story altogether because I don't think they're not going to let him go. They're determined to stay there. George James, he is still, to be honest. I mean, there's a gap opening up a little bit now, but not from second and third, not from Dylan and Chris. So I'm not sure, and I don't think that he's going to let them go either. So I think will this? They can already see the gap. See if you, I'm not sure just about you, Stacey, but it looks like they're starting to close the gap on Omar again.
Yeah, sometimes the camera angles can be a little bit deceiving. So I think we have just seen George drop off a little bit the pace there. Omar does seem to have a gap of maybe 10 meters or so. I'm not going to call it just yet. We've seen this happen before earlier on in the race where he stretched it out a little bit and they grouped back together. So maybe it's a surge, but and maybe they will come back together, or maybe this is Omar putting the foot down and going for the win.
Yeah, it's a bit of a familiar pattern, to be honest. I mean, this did happen earlier in the race, and he did go up, and it looks like again he's putting the chase on. He's got a decent 5K PB, but it doesn't look to me like Omar's wanting to wait until the finish because it is any man's game when it comes to the finish and in the final part. Everyone thinks they've got the best kick, and sometimes it is more. If you've got enough in the tank right now, it is safer to just put the foot down and try and put a bit of a gap. But again, it's hard to tell hard to tell again, like Stacey just said with the camera angles. But I'm not sure if they're closing the gap again a little bit. So Omar's going to have to be careful. He's going to have to keep, if he's putting surges in like this, you really have to commit. You can't let them come back in after you put a big surge in on your run because you are using a lot of energy.
Yeah,
Um,
it really zaps you if you're gonna play with the paces, increase and decrease the pace. It can absolutely zap your legs.
yeah. But yeah, like maybe maybe he's thought he's got enough in the tank and he doesn't fancy leaving it clearly to the last part of the race. But it's all about again as well how he handles these going around the corners. He doesn't want to surge too much into the corners and use too much of his energy reserves coming out of there when it's very easy to do that. I mean, to be honest, it's more like I've never raced a windy course like this on the roads. Have you?
No, not really. I mean, I did Sunderland 10K. There
How
was a
was
few
that?
twists and turns there. Um, but yeah, I tend to stick to flat, fast courses with not many turns at all. Um,
I don't blame you.
See, unless you count any of the park runs, some of the park runs
God.
up here, that's very twisty turny, but they're good fun. They're good fun.
Have fun, but
Yeah.
I remember I slipped over on like racing on a park run before, like, on the ice on the road. I did let us do. This is probably like, I mean, we're going back like 10 years now, maybe 10 years on, or maybe the health and safety's got a little bit stricter, but I don't know. But yeah, you can just see he's like going around a 90-degree turn there.
Yeah, they've just gone through 8K there in just over 23 minutes. They have dropped the pace a little bit. Now, the average pace is 2:53, and the paces, the live paces are hovering around that 3 minute mark at the moment. So we'll keep an eye out on the times, see if Omar is simply just going to go for the win or if he's going to try and go for any course records or any of the performance bonuses at all.
Yeah, I'm just actually, you know what? I thought I was trying to do a bit more digging on Charlie Brisley. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to apologize on air to Chris Parr right now because he did actually message saying that about Charlie entering. So maybe I should check the messages a little bit more often, and maybe I won't go to the wrong venue or try and you know that I had another mayor yesterday, right?
Oh gosh, here we go.
So I got to I set off yesterday. I forgot that it was today. I thought it was yesterday initially. Did you not know that?
No.
Right. So I set off yesterday with my training gear. I thought, oh God, I'm not getting much sleep today. So I woke up nice and early, got through. I got just past Durham, and I thought I'll give Red a ring, just have a bit of chat on the phone on the way there. I said, all right, Rich, how's it going? Wait, are you there now? He was like, no, I'm on a run. I was like, oh, you're not commentating? He was like, no, no. I was like, oh, why? He was like, oh, it's tomorrow. I was like, why? You on the way? Don't tell me you're on the way. He started laughing his head off. I mean, run. I was like, oh, you're joking.
Don't forget exactly the day.
I swear, right? Oh dear, oh dear. I don't even know if I should have admitted that on live, but you know. Anyway, we'll get back to the rest. But
Try and do our research as much as possible, guys.
it's just 2 hours 2. I wonder what's going to happen at Ribble Valley. I'm probably going to end up in London and
You guys, I thought it was Fulham this.
anyway, no, I was back to the rest. So all my, like I say, is just going around this tight, windy roads now. It seems like there's a lot of corners here. To be honest, I was all for it before when I seen the course because honestly, in a lot of races you see nowadays, especially on live streams and things like that, some of them are good. You look at podiums and times are what we want to see, fast times and courses like that. That's what they're built for. And Chris is doing a great job with those guys and ladies and. Uh, we've seen an absolutely fantastic event the other night again from him. He pulls it out of the bag every time. But sometimes it is nice to see a nice little tactical race. Then again, that was tactical, but in general, it's nice to see a nice, a group of people rather than it being stretched out from the start. And I had this conversation with someone the other, yeah, I think it was yesterday actually, just a friend of mine, and I was saying, quite often, virtually every time you'll see, even in big marathons, major marathons, after the first few miles, you pretty much have five people at the front, and then it's sort of, even then sometimes it just sort of breaks away with a couple of people, and I really enjoy watching. I don't know about anybody else, but I really, really enjoy watching tactical races. I love to see the excitement of championship racing, and quite often on the road, you don't really tend to get that. So it was nice. It's been nice to see that people there with Omar and challenging him for around about 75% of the course.
Absolutely. I wish we could see the other camera angle and just understand what the gap is between Omar and the rest of the field. We kind of don't know if they're 3 meters behind or 30 meters behind. So maybe we will get to see that. He's having a little look himself.
I wonder if they're close. If he's
Eight,
doing that. Do you reckon? I reckon he just doesn't know.
I don't know. 800 meters to go though. So in the next couple of minutes, we will start to see who is in the top three.
Yeah, absolutely. I think to be honest with you, he's looking for that bonus, isn't he? So I think 29.30 for that £650. I think he's coming for another payday. That'll be 3 out of 3, I think, or is that 4 out of 4 for Omar Ahmed on the bonuses?
Yeah, and that means he will continue to lead in the rankings for the series.
Absolutely, indeed. I think, to be honest, that may be him solidifying his place as top of the leaderboard because I don't think at Ribble Valley anybody's going to be able to get top points now. So this is looking like it's going to be our race series winner, Omar Ahmed of Birchfield Harriers. To be honest, it's been absolutely fantastic to be able to sit and watch and commentate on them recently. They're not that far behind, though, I must say. They're only about 50 meters behind.
Yep, it's going to be a bit of a battle for second and third as well, looks like. So, this is going to be a great race coming into maybe 400 meters to go.
I mean, Omar, I mean, he doesn't look like he's going, he doesn't look like he's motoring that much, but Dylan Evans isn't half pumping the arms behind him. He's really trying to catch him. But I just think it's going to be that little bit too much. Only 200 meters to go now. Probably 40 seconds of running left. 200 meters coming up right now. I think that he's going to have going to have done enough. I don't think so anyone can really make it back that kind of distance before the end. But he's had an absolute stormer again on a course like this to be coming, potentially dipping under 29 minutes. Actually, it just shows the caliber of the athletes here. But he's just coming along the home straight now. Omar Ahmed is going to be looks like he's going to be the Fulham 10K champion. Dylan Evans just behind him, absolutely motoring as well. But he's done enough. He's done what he needed to do. He came here for the win. He's came here for his bonus, and he's got it. Well done, Omar.
Nice work. Now, it'll be interesting to see who comes through in second. There will seem to be a bit of a battle for second and third. Now, that was
Dylan Evans, that was, I think.
Evans, so the Australian athlete from Shaftesbury Barnet and Belgrave Harriers. He came over. Did we get a time for him? Now, his PB was 29:04. I think he might have just
Just
missed out on,
outside.
yeah.
Just outside. But I think in third place, just literally just behind him, they battled all the way to the line. Charlie Brisley, what a fantastic run from him. Those guys really, really took it to Omar and really made him he had to work. Because I mean, on a few of the previous races, he's just been solo all the way, kind of just dictated how he wanted to run his own race. But today he wasn't allowed to do that.
And see George there as well, who's crossed the line and getting such a cracking time there. That is his first 10K race he's ever done. And to be sub 30 in your first 10K is incredibly impressive. So hats off to George. And I'm sure this is just the start of his 10Ks as well. I think we'll start to see him hopefully competing in a few more 10Ks and bringing that time down.
Indeed, indeed, he's doing a fantastic job. It's great to see. 2:11 after a few marathons is no joke. I'm looking forward to seeing how he progresses over the next year or two, because I can certainly say that we'll see some big things from him in the future.
Yeah, I wish I had some more information on Transfora Musa from Tanzania. She is 34 years of age. There doesn't seem to be a lot of information on her background at all. She did compete in a half marathon in in March in 1 hour and 20 minutes. But we're just having a little search there for her name and looking at some of her past performances, but can't seem to find an awful lot of details. So I do apologise that we don't have a lot of information on this athlete, but she is still leading the women's race. Um, Hanging in there with some of the guys around her, using them as pacemakers and perhaps trying to pick them off as much as possible.
Yeah, very much indeed. It won't be long before we see her coming across the line. I don't know. She's just coming down the home straight now. We're looking. I mean, if that's correct, that that is going to be a huge personal best. That's 31 and a half minutes.
Uh,
Holy moly! I mean,
wow.
that can't be the World Athletics. I mean, they need to update
Yeah.
they need to update their results because that's unbelievable.
We are looking on the various databases online and just can't seem to find an awful lot on it. But that is an incredible time. Congratulations.
Half minutes. Wowzer. On a course like this, that is absolutely rapid. I mean, she's worked hard, but you can see, she's out of breath, but that is an absolutely unbelievable performance. What a worthwhile trip through. And I'll tell you what, for me, performance of the day by far from what we've seen, that is unbelievable.
Till we get the official time and see what it is. And well, once we get the official results, we'll report it back to everyone.
Absolutely fantastic.
But they are coming through thick and fast now. It'd be great to see who in the ladies' race finishes in second and third position.
We will try and keep track of that. Indeed, I did notice on the YouTube that Morgan Kendall had said that we're out of sync. I'm assuming that was earlier. If that's not true, Morgan, just give us a shout, and we will look into that. But I think that may have been sorted by now. But I've only just checked the comment section, so.
And if you are a viewer and do fancy participating in any of Run Through and Top Flight series, there are a number of races that we still have for the rest of the year. Main one being Ribble Valley. That has always got a great turnout. Very quick course. We have a lot of professional athletes that turn out there. Always has a bit of a strong field.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just wondering if we'll see Kitty Shepherd's Cross coming across the line at some point, because she hasn't raced this year. She was down on the start list, and this will be her first 10K. Great athlete. Went to Durham Uni again. Know her from there. Hasn't raced, like I say, this year, so this would be the first one of the year. So
maybe in second.
that will be indeed. When we get round, we will just double check the number on that. If we can see. And it looks like all third place females just came across the line too.
Well done to our first three finishers in our top flight men's and women's Fulham 10K in partnership with Vitamin Well. They will be receiving their prizes today on the podium, including cap prizes. Our finishers. We've had our first three female finishers over the line. Neo, Arna, Army, Dano, and Lisa. Our top flight men's and women's Fulham 10K in partnership with Vitamin Well. They will be receiving their prizes today on the podium, including cap prizes.
Yes.
Well done, guys. In top flight series. Neo, Arna, Army, Dano, and this one could switch. Ruined that photo.
So we know we have just seen Kasana Weir come over in third position. She runs for Thames Valley, so a bit of a local athlete there. She has a current PB across the 5K. She's done 16:19, which is amazing, and in a half marathon, 79:28. Now she tends to compete around middle distance to half marathon pace, so got a great range there. Now I believe that she finished in third position, and in second position, just having a look, I believe that is Martina Connor, and we will just flag up some information on Martina.
Just to apologise for the delay here, by the way, guys. It looks like Kitty Shepherd's Cross has just crossed the line in 36.5 minutes there. So great run, Kitty. It's great to see her back running. That's a fantastic run after having so long out. It's been a year actually since she's raced. So absolutely amazing job. Great to see her back. I'm sure that we'll see her maybe hopefully at Liverpool cross country, because she did compete there last year. And be great to see her progress through the winter season and onto the track season next year. So Good luck to your training next year, Kitty. Look forward to seeing how you progress. But yeah, like I said, the pause with the results is that unfortunately open track wasn't pulling through. We only had Omar on the results list, so that's why there's been a bit of a delay. But we've managed to get it up on the run through website. So if you're struggling to get the results up on open track, I don't know if you're having the difficulties we were having. If you go on to head over to the run through app, the run through website, the live results will pop up on there. But I think Stacey's just got the top 3 from each race, the results.
Yeah, so over on the men's side, first position, we got Omar Ahmed in his official time 28:58, Dylan Evans 29:03, and Charlie Brisley in 29:08. On the female side,
On the females, absolutely great time. The one thing about the timer on the screen is it can be a slightly off, but nonetheless, an absolutely unbelievable performance from Transform Musa. 31:53, dipping under that 32 minutes on a course like this is absolutely rapid. So well done to her. What a worthwhile trip that was indeed. Martina Connor, 34 minutes dead. Bearing in mind, looking at her, this person's power of 10, very, very unusual. They just started running this year. So to come out and run 34 minutes,
yeah.
4 races in total on the board. And actually,
First race was in August, back end.
they've only raced in August and ran the 16:45 for 5K since then.
It's amazing.
That is rapid. I mean,
She is under 23, so a real upcoming athlete. She's just started off. My God, what a talent she is to put in a performance like that. Just started to get into, well, maybe she has been in running for a while, but certainly in terms of competing, this is a really new athlete to the scene. So I'm really excited to see what she's going to put out, especially being under 23. She's got years ahead of her for development.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's phenomenal. Well done. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Martina to compete for as the year goes on because well, hopefully we can get her in the Ribble Valley. We'll get Parsley onto that. I'm sure you'll try and get her recruited into the Ribble Valley, get her back on the elite start list because I'm not sure if whether she's even on the elite start list. But yeah, that's a fantastic performance.
Congratulations to all the athletes today. It looked like great conditions down there as well. So I was trying to take a little look at the trees and stuff on the course. Seems to be a very still, calm day. Yes, it is chilly, but it didn't seem to be too windy out there. At least it wasn't raining. Because I'd imagine on a course like this, if it had been chucking it down and been cold overnight, a little bit icy, it could have been quite slippy. But it seemed to be cracking conditions out there, and I hope as we're seeing more and more of the mass field come through, that everybody's enjoyed it today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm looking outside from up here, and I mean, I mean, if it's good up here, down there, it must be pretty good.
I had to defrost my car this morning. It's the first time.
Wait, I don't. Where do you? Where's it? You're like what? Houston.
No, I'm up north. I'm in Northumberland.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, you're in God's country. Yeah, that's no surprise then. But I didn't have to today, luckily. But I did. I have already a few times. I'm not looking forward to it. I did read the other day that we're potentially going to get snow on Tuesday.
No.
We missed it last year.
Thermals out.
I went to Portugal for like 10 days, right? And I got there, second day I arrived, it was like, oh, snow's forecast.
From
Uh,
Portugal.
no, not for Portugal, for home. So I missed the whole thing. So I was in the sun while everyone was in the snow. I was like, this is probably the luckiest thing that's ever happened to me.
Fantastic timing. Hate that though when you go out of the country and it's nice weather back home.
Oh,
No.
I paid for this. If I'm getting warm, if I'm having to pay for warm weather, then everybody else has to suffer.
You never like do it and your phone back home. Oh, the weather's been great. You're like, damn it.
Yeah. It's a great satisfaction when all my friends were running in the snow and I was in the sun with no top on. Anyway,
Not bragging at all.
yeah.
Well, we do say I hope everyone's enjoyed it today. Now I'm just watching the faces come over the line, and with some people have suffered today. They've really pushed themselves. I'm sure they'll enjoy it in 10 minutes once they bring the heart rate back down and they go for a little cool down. I'm sure they'll get the runners high.
Oh, absolutely. It's always a mix, isn't it? I've just seen someone waving in the camera there. It's always a mix. Some people out there to have a bit of fun. The races, that's the beauty of races like this. Some people are out here to run personal bests. Some people are out here, just to complete it, try the run out. It's the best time. They run through races. They're dotted all over the country. So if you're thinking about trying out one of the races, make sure you head over to the website. If you're watching this now and you've never run one, or if you've maybe been out for a while, or even if you're thinking, I'm watching this, I've seen some pretty good performances today. I think I could challenge for the next one. The next top flight is Ribble Valley, but that's just the top flight series. That's just the elite series of the run through setup. Run throughs on every weekend throughout the year. They do events all over the country. There's usually multiple ones on the weekends. So check it out. Getting entered into your next one, and who knows? Maybe you could be pulling out doing a Martina Connor and absolutely smashing out a massive personal best, first 10K, and running 34 dead is some going. So
Incredible. Again, shout out to George James there, and another athlete relatively new to the scene. So it's great that some of these events are being used for athletes that are well established within the sport, but also for new and upcoming athletes using it as an introduction to the running scene.
yeah, absolutely.
So we do have Ribble Valley. Like Cameron said, we've got a top flight by run through series. The next one, the last one of the year, is on the 29th of December in Clitheroe. It does start at 10 a.m. If you want to enter, please head to the website where you will find all of the information there. Like I said, we normally have a great turnout at Ribble Valley.
Yeah, and I mean, you'll have to check out the top flight series for that one. Let me tell you, the our pre-race podcast, because there's going to be some pretty hot runners entered to that one. It's always a banger at the end of the year. You always get a big field out. Both the men and the women are always they're always at it. Might be a few surprise entries as well. I'm not going to say yet because that's we'll wait for the podcast. But a few big names entered for that one, and I can't wait to see it. It's going to be an absolute banger, especially to commentate on with the names I've seen so far. So I think what we're gonna call it a day now over here at the studio. I hope you've enjoyed it, and really appreciate you coming and watching if you're still watching. And I look forward to seeing you all at Ribble Valley if you do fancy that, check it out. Like I say, get on the Run Through website, check out the other races, get yourself entered. If you fancy a run out, and you can already see, I mean, the atmosphere looks great down there. People are coming in. They'll probably head over now to the Athlete Village where you can kind of, you might be able to see, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but I think there's a live stream on Facebook somewhere. The Athlete Village, everyone's kind of stood around. They'll probably be going for coffees now, for maybe some for a pint, to be honest with you. Maybe need a few drinks after that.
Like, why not?
You're not used to this either.
No.
The weekend you've had.
We'll sign off there.
Yeah, so thanks very much for tuning in. It's ciao for now from me and Stacey, and we will see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
one moment. They're just getting second and third and they'll be over. No, just for the elite base. The elite base, yeah.
But they'll be on the stage.
Oh, yeah. Tell you what, just save me a bit of time. Could you take my bike and can you put it in?
I put mine on red.
Could you put it in the same? Yeah, just tuck away. Is that right?
Yeah,
Just save some time. Cheers, mate. Thank you, and we can get going.
She's going to get on the mic.
Just sort of stand. Okay. We're good. Sorry, mate. They're about to use it. Actually, you're on. Yeah, go on quickly, guys. Sorry, guys. I think they're almost ready for it.
Oh shit, it's on the stage. It's on the stage, the women. Does she want on the stage?
Congratulations.
Right, guys. Do you want to? Sorry, guys. If we can have the top three ladies, if you don't mind heading onto your positions on the podium. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, if you want to head on whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, guys.
I said this.
Well done, guys. Okay. We have
Have you got her medal? Are you voting yet? Yeah.
Jess, we have the top three ladies here. What do you want us to do? Can we give them the prizes? Okay. Right. Yeah. On the. Okay. So sorry. There's no one here. It's just us. So we're giving them prizes. Right. Okay. I'm going to try and work it out, but I'm trying to live stream as well. All right. Just one moment. I might need some help here. Do you mind?
Are we giving them prizes?
Sorry, guys. We have got some prizes. I don't know what is what. Sorry, we did have someone who was meant to be here for this, but we're going to try and make do with it. I don't know what. Sorry, James, we need to hear. I don't know what these prizes are. No, I need someone to read.
Do you reckon just quickly grab a quick one up there?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, thanks.
Right, guys.
Can you open the champagne and like spray it everywhere?
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking. Don't waste it.
That says second, right?
Right, that does say second. I've got
So
someone.
you're going to take all of them?
Yeah.
That'd be a good day out. Sorry to be waiting for this. Yeah, that does say second.
Yeah, and there's 4 seconds.
Oh my gosh!
There's random in here.
Oh my god!
Doesn't it?
Right, this is first. Jamie, could you
Want to hold that?
are we just here?
This is it. Everyone else needs to be in the room.
Okay.
So their photos.
Lovely. I'm going to take this back. Right, guys, you have your top three ladies here. So do you want to work out how you want to do the prize giving? And then we'll film it for you.
Come on, Chelsea. Chelsea, Chelsea!
Get out of running with the quickly, so well done to that hard work. Super, super guys. Well done to Jeremy, Paul, Louise, Adrian. Well done to Ella and Rachel. Super, super efforts, guys. Well done to Jenny, Antonio, Louise and Paul. Congratulations to Katie Nichols. 1 hour, 12 minutes. Awesome, awesome run, guys. Congratulations to Joe, Victoria, Scott, and Phoebe. Well done to Hannah, Christine. Congratulations, Alice. Well done, runners. Yeah. Our workers staff are going to be one hand to help with your everything. Chasing your own personal goals. Congratulations to Jared, Wyatt, and Levita. Well done to Bridget. Super running, guys. 1 hour 15, that's awesome. Well done to Sophie, Kieran, Wesley, Rose, and David. Let's go, let's go. 1 hour 15 on the clock. Well done, guys. Congratulations to our finishers. Well done, guys. The results are now online. So here are the numbers for 20K. We're going to have race photos to be online later. And then see your email. You can see 4 months worth of red pack. All down, you can see the race photos today. And all the content you see out the course today are the competition articles and the prizes. Well done, guys. What a performance. Well done, guys. Right push. You're nearly there. Let's go. Well done to Claire, Anna, David. Well done to Zoe. Congratulations, Beatrice. Well done to Annabelle. Super, super effort, guys. Well done.
Amazing job, guys!
Congratulations, runners. Get closer to the finish line. Keep your eyes smile. Keep your applause going. We're going to get every single one of these 4,000 runners to this line. This is where they're going to be hurting. The legs are going to be on fire. The lungs, they Congratulations. Let's go, let's go, let's final push, come on. Yes, Mr. Fishing, push, go, go, go! Well done to David and Izzy. Congratulations to Rio and May. Yes, we just did it today. That was like Sebastian Coe in France with Hannah. Well done to May, Tiffany, Antonia. Let's go, Isabella and Paul. This is your wrestling. Well done to Fabian and John. John Hollywood. God, dang John. That's amazing. You are a star. Well done to Nick and Justine. Congratulations. 1 hour 20 minutes. Well done. Let's go, runners. Keep on pushing. Let's go, guys. Come on. Push out to Pixie Money Card. Yes, to the team. Well done. Super everyone. Go, 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 go. Well done, guys. Great effort. Well done to Ellie, Amina. Well done to Harriet. Great run today, Harriet. Legendary pushing runners. Well done, runners. Fast push. Come on, let's go, let's go. Right, spectators, we've got to keep it going. Just a few more runners out, of course. We've got to get them home. We're nearly there. Let's keep the energy high. This is the hardest part of the race for our runners. Let's get them home. Come on, runners. Well done to Jane, Annetta, and Piers. Well done to Emily and Jennifer. Congratulations to Paul and Davis. Well done to Tom and Peter. Well done to Alison. Well done. Yes, Matt. Well done, buddy. Matt's over the line. Big thank you to all our pushing pacer. Thank you to you and all of our pacers today. Selflessly, you're really helping thousands of runners. Well done to Matthew, Steph, and Matt. Congratulations, guys. Well done to Carly. Well done. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well done, you two. Well done to the legend runners. Yes, well done, guys. Congratulations to Isabel and Rachel. Well done to Lara. Super running, guys. Let's keep it moving. Your medal awaits you. You get that great in the village and it's a store right now, guys. Waiting for you. We're going to have water, drinks as well. And all your something. So, this has been an incredible morning. This is the Fulham 10K in partnership with Vitamin Well. What a job, Brian. We also have our top mark racing generators. We saw Omar Ahmed get the lead in 28.58. And he was in winning place. Peter Butsy took the lead from Tanzania in 31 minutes 53 to take the women's crown. They earned themselves £460 cash and 25 points towards the top flight series. Omar Ahmed is our current leader in the series and extends his lead with another win. Well done to all our finishers in the last 10K. Absolutely incredible. So, we are getting every single one of these riders right and right over this line. Spectators in the finishing pole. You need help now. Very good effort. Well done to Christine. Absolutely smashed it. 1 out of 24. Well done, Christine. Let's go, you two. Final push. Let's go. Come on. The Fulham 10K in partnership with Disney World has been an incredible ruling of athletics. Right? What I started morning, I'm still a bit guilty that I'm not running RunThrough. Right? It's been an inspirational morning so far, and we are not done, and that's the game. We've got more finishers. There comes to Mark Blaine, Evan Beavers, Ryan Musket, winner to Lorraine Joseph, Lizzie Fox. Well done to Sarah Wright. Well done to Abhinav Tawar. 1 hour We are going to be here until we have every single one of our legendary runners over this finish line. Well done to Vicky, and congratulations to our another finisher. We have Abishnan, well done. 1 out of 29, absolutely mega running. Well done to Thomas Bloomfield. Keep on going, guys, you're nearly there. Final push, final meters, let's go. Well done to Natalie Mundy. You guys have Mark Curry, well done to Julian.
Well, go.
Well done to Liz. Well done, Liz. Great running today. Super, super, well done, Jackie. Final push, runners, you're nearly there, let's go! Congratulations to Christine Bolton! Well done, well done to Bruno! Over the line, well done to Laura! Let's go, runners, final push, come on! Well done, you two, great effort! You have smashed the Fulham 10K, well done, well done! Congratulations to Leo and Rafa! Smashed it! Well done to Nicola Davies! Yes, 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 final question in there, final question, let's go! Well done, you have smashed the Fulham 10K, congratulations! Well done! Let's go, final push! Super, super effort, you have smashed it! Well done, Karen, you absolutely crushed that 10K. Congratulations to Shauna, done and dusty. Final push back in there, well done! Well done to Steve, Fulham 10K, smashed it, Steve, well done that medal. Final push runners, you're nearly there, come on! You smashed it, well done. Absolutely incredible. Well done, Sansi. You nailed that 10K. Well done to Lisa Clark and Suzanne. Well done, guys. Let's go, you two. Come on, final push. Over the line, well done. Absolutely mega, guys. Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations, what a performance in today's 10K. Well done, Scott. Well done to Susanna as well. We have over the line. Great running, guys. You're nearly there. You can hear my voice. That must be really finished. Final push. You have just completed the final 10K. Well done. Congratulations. What a performance. for our finishers in the finishing final, we have your race medals there. You can get that engraved today from Abigail in the This Is Me One store. If you enter this, we also have Equal Coffee, we have Quality Coffee, Lunchbox, Fulton and Corrigan. We have Denise London on Home Donuts. We have This Is Me One, as I said, you can get the medal engraved logo. We've also got the Application Online Coaching Store, the Elite Cereal Store. We have Holly Price on guests on stage. And we of course have our Italy as well, and Prime Time Beer stores as well. Well done, what a run today. You have just smashed 10K. Well done, Lawrence Staples. Let's go, runners. Fly on first, fly. You have just completed the Fulham 10K in partnership with Michigan World. Well done! Let's go, Vanessa! Well done! Yes, you too. Congratulations, 10K. Final lasted. Yes, that's well done. Well, that's a Luke and Drew. Great effort. Congratulations, guys. Absolutely incredible. Well done, Kinesh. Great running today. Run that medal, wear it with pride. Well done, buddy. You've done it. You've just lost the 10K around Fulham. Congratulations. Well done, Michelle. Well done, runners. Let's go, Simon. Come on, buddy. Final push this line. Let's get it. Yes, Simon. Enjoy this finish line moment. Yeah, well done, buddy.
Thank you. Ah. Thank you.
Well done, guys. You are so close to the final 5 meters. Go, 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 go. Well done. Done it. Congratulations, guys. Well done to Lee and Mike. Finishing the Fulham 10K in partnership with Fitting in Well. Awesome, awesome effort for you two. Well done. Oh, we can also say to me that the Fulham 10K in partnership with Fitting in Well has been a massive rate of success. Around 4,000 runners taking part today. We have a top flight race as well, where we have Omar on there take the win in 28.58. And it was an incredible race as well. In the women's race, where we had Transpora with Muncie, who took the win in 31 minutes 53 seconds. They go home with a big old stash. Massive stash there. And our next 10K was a success as well. We are going to cheer every single Christian High Rovers live. If you are still in the Netherlands, please stick around. Enjoy our stores from our partners and our members. If you're Let's go, let's go. Final question to finish. And a what a performance from the local runners. The front running club is starting already.
Yes!
Well done, Evan. And that's it. Well done, you two.
You see, Mama?
That's just real lead.
Oh, you see, you saw it. Bang. Like, where?